dare to dream. I've been raised very realistic and like more like don't dream. And I think everything starts with a dream. And if you can kind of visualize yourself holding the Roland Garros trophy, like I think it's also easier like to get there at some point. If you cannot even visualize that or you cannot dream about it, then I think it's just too far. You really have to believe in it.
Welcome to Tennis Insider Club. I am Borja Duran, and together with my partner, Caroline Garcia, here is where tennis stories and life conversations intersect. Join us as we uncover the untold personal journeys of the icons of the court.
I hope you will enjoy this conversation. For me, it was a real privilege. Before beginning, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next episodes. Also, it will mean the world to me if you can share this episode with someone you think will enjoy it. Thank you. Wim, thank you so much for being with us today. It's an honor and privilege.
Thank you.
First question, how did you start with tennis?
Tennis, my mom started to play tennis at a later age, and honestly, I asked, but I don't remember if I was 7 or 8, and I had an older brother as well, and, you know, we went with my mom to the tennis, and then there was a wall, and I started to hit the wall. I think kind of like the story that a lot of players have. Yeah, step by step, then I did some camps, and yeah, the coach thought that was like kind of pretty good, and step by step. So I really loved the sport. I was playing football at that time as well. And I think every year I was playing a bit more tennis. And I was always like, let's say in my province, I was top 3 and then top 2. And then I think I was like 10, 11. I had to make the decision for my parents, like football or tennis. And of course, they made the decision for me, you know, to go for tennis. And then, yeah, more every year. And I was always like number 3, 4 in my country from like 12. Like we had Malise.
Yes,
was number 1.
Same generation?
Same year, yes. And then Olivier Rocus, who was 1 year younger, 81. And so they were by far like the best players in the country, but also in Europe and worldwide from under 16 and 18. But yeah, I had the privilege to join them sometimes to tournaments, and we became like European champion as a team, and I was able to play the doubles when it was 2-0, you know. So I was that.
It's good memories. You don't care at that moment, you know.
I was that kind of player, but
Same enjoyment and less suffering at the end.
You know, like I've always been super realistic, and I saw they were like world class, and I was different level, but you know, I was still like good player in my country. So at the end, after finishing school, I did the tour for like 1.5 years, 2 years, a little bit. I moved to Germany. I went to train there. I played some international tournaments, but yeah, like it was hard. It was difficult. I wasn't like, think I was late, mature physically, mentally. So I definitely needed a lot of extra years to train and to get a body. And, you know, of course, it's expensive and it's difficult. And so I made the decision to actually quit tennis at 20 and start studying.
Ever landed in a new country and realized you have no internet? Yep, we've all been there. No maps, no messages, no nothing. But with Saily, that's a thing of the past. Saily is the new eSIM app from the creators of NordVPN, and it keeps you connected in over 190 countries. No physical SIM cards, no sketchy kiosk, no roaming fees. Just download the app once, pick your plan, and boom, instant mobile data wherever you go. Whether you're hopping around Europe, watching tennis tournaments, chilling in Bali, or exploring South America, Saily's got you covered with affordable, global, and regional plans. Get an exclusive 15% discount on your first Saily data plans using code TennisInsider at checkout. Download Saily app or go to saily.com/tennisinsider to benefit from the exclusive offer. That's saily.com/tennisinsider. So you went to university after, or?
Yeah, so I came home. I was 20 years old, and then I started a bachelor in logistics.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Big change.
A completely changed, but on the other hand, you know, like tennis requires like discipline, you know, go to practice every day, do your thing, and then you go to your university, and it's kind of the same thing, you know. Yeah. So for me, I accepted the situation, and I enjoyed it. So after like 3 years, I got my degree, and then I started working.
Okay, so for a while before going back to tennis, you were having a normal job, and
Completely. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. So when I was studying, let's say I lived a good student life.
Yeah.
And of course that also required some money. So I
Mm.
started to coach a little bit on the side. Just
Okay.
that was my first goal, just to earn some money. And then I got my degree and I started working. And I was still living with my parents. My
Mhm.
parents said, like
Yeah.
from the moment you start working, like
Mhm.
everything is for you now.
Yes.
So then I realized how expensive life was. So I kind of like every hour I got, I was coaching. So
Okay.
after at the end of the day, I was coaching 2-3 hours. In the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, full. Every day off I was coaching. Just
Yeah.
just
Make
to
a
do it.
living.
But on the other hand, I was really enjoying it, and I was because of my level, I was able to coach some good juniors and stuff. So I really enjoyed it. But at the end, I worked, I think, 4 or 5 years in a company, and I also enjoyed that. So I was getting some chances for promotions, and I was kind of visualizing my career a bit in that way.
Okay.
But then things changed.
And when you started to coach a bit on your off days and with the kids,
Yeah.
did you felt you had a good connection, or you really wanted to try to pass something to the players, or it started growing little by little?
Yeah, little by little, I had the chance to coach next to some really good coaches. So I was like learning a lot from them, and I mean, everything I do, I want to do well. So that was like really important for me, that if I coach, I was also like really learning. And I did some courses in Belgium, and I think that's also something that helped me, because we have good quality coaches education in Belgium, like a lot of like technically really good coaches, and also just coaching different levels. I think it's just really good to develop your coaching skills.
Yeah, it gives you like a wider perspective, know what it takes, kind of.
Yeah, you have to look for solutions, like for a serve, for a forehand, like the forehands that are like completely messed up, and you kind of have to get to the right form, and like it requires a lot of skills. And yeah, just every day is like, or every player was like problem solving and like finding a way to make them better.
But in this moment, you already like start dreaming of maybe like making a living out of tennis?
No.
Or no?
Absolutely not, no.
So you're like 23, 24 maybe, and still like tennis is like not in your like plans of life?
No, absolutely not. Because first of all, in Belgium, there was no example, someone who's done it before. They were like, okay, we had already that time Kim and Justine playing well, but they were also working with just like their national coaches, so none of the Belgian did it before. So for me, it was something like, I don't even see how that's possible.
Yeah.
And it changed when I think it was in 2004. We had like some tournaments in Belgium. There was one, the WTA tournament in, yes. But we also had one in Hasselt, in my city where I live. It was a 250. It existed for like 3 years.
Okay.
So I, going back to when I was 16, 17, 18, like I was training every day. And my biggest training partner, 6 days from 7, was Kim Clijsters.
Okay.
And it's funny when I think about it now, because I was 3 years older and I was kind of like the top of my country when I was practicing with this girl that was like 3 years younger, I hear also in the club now where my kids are practicing, like the parents usually would say like, no way, like my son is not going to practice with a girl that's 3 years younger.
Yeah.
But she was
At that time, you didn't mind or bother?
No, absolutely not. I mean, we had incredible practices. Like with serve, I was probably better, but without serve, like we had incredible training. So that was really good. So then in like from 18, I went my way. I lived in Germany, went studying. She went, of course, her career skyrocketed. And then in I think it was 2004 that there was a tournament in my city, and they were looking for hitting partners. And that's why I got reunited, and I was Kim's hitting partner for the week. And it was actually really fun. And from that moment, I was like, she injured herself there, but I was asked sometimes to play with her. And then it was a tournament in 2005 where she again made a comeback. That was in Antwerp. And that's where I was again the hitting partner, and kind of tried to help her a little bit with coaching, and she won that tournament. And at the end of the tournament, she said, "Hey, Wim, like the contract of my coach actually done after the US Open. Like, just be ready because like I want you to travel with me." But then she went to Indian Wells or Miami. She won both. And then later that year, she went to the US Open and won her first slam.
Okay.
So for me, it was like, okay,
No chance.
it's not going to happen, like, but at the end, a week later, she called me. It's like, so are you ready? I'm like, no, I'm not ready. Like, I'm still like working in office, but like, what can I do for you? So I started to practice more. And then I went with her for the first tournament ever. And that was the WTA finals in Los Angeles.
Nice.
In 2000.
As a coach or?
No, I mean, she didn't have a coach at that time, but I was the only one.
Okay.
So that was kind of like the start.
Nice, no
2005.
pressure.
And I must say that was a nice experience as first tournament. And it's probably the first time that I thought, hey, like this is really something like I would like to do. But it's actually funny because so we went to a tournament, and I think it was just before the last match. We were in the hotel. She's waiting downstairs. And the WTA office was on the first floor in the hotel. I had to ask something. So I went to the WTA office and I sprint downstairs because there was a car waiting for us. I never want to be late. And I jump and I twist my ankle like so badly. And it was like a crack. And she looks at me like, what was that? What was that sound? Was it your ankle? I'm like, no, like I'm like nothing happened. Like I didn't hear it. So I'm in the car and we had to drive 45 minutes and my ankle was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I didn't want to show it, of course, So, I mean, at the end, like I was able to hit with her, but I was in so much pain, but I was lucky. It was the last match. But for me, of course, I didn't want to show like any weakness.
No,
but,
you didn't want to bring that first experience.
No,
But
I wanted to be perfect, of course.
Showing you were a tough man.
Exactly, yeah. But from then on, like I started like using my official holidays for my work to travel to some tournaments. Like she didn't have a coach. I was like hitting partner and helping her. And it was until 2007 that I was combining it. And then I took the decision, hey, like I'm just going to go for it. So I was 27 years old. I believe, I have to follow my passion. It's probably a big risk because I don't know what's going to happen. But on the other hand, this is a chance and who knows?
So for more than 2 years, you're combining your real job with hitting with her.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
I was, taking some unpaid holidays as well.
Yeah.
And my company, the one I worked for, they were really helpful with that. So they were very kind. Yeah. And then I made the decision. And I think it was about 6 weeks later that she decided that was the end of her career.
No way.
Yeah. So that was the end of her career.
You had no clue there when you...
No.
Well, of course not.
No,
Otherwise you would not take that call.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
And, for me, actually, that was a very important point, very important moment, because that's where I decided, hey, you know what? I'm still going to go for it. And now I will have time to do like all the different courses, go to international seminars, and kind of like develop myself as the best possible coach.
Yeah.
And who knows, I always had at the back of my mind, she would maybe come back. Because she had like a lot of passion for the sport, and I know she wanted to be a mom early. So I always had that in the back of my mind. But so for kind of like a year and a half, I was coaching 50 hours, 60 hours a week and do all the courses.
Nice.
Very intense, learned a lot, but I just wanted to be ready if I would ever get a second chance.
Okay.
And then beginning of 2009, I was 29 years old. I got a call to be the official coach in her comeback. So that's where it all started, and that's now
long time.
16 years ago. Time flies.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's a crazy
very
story.
interesting story.
It's very, I mean, I think it's quite unique for...
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess so, because I never chose to become a coach, because I was never able to dream about it. I didn't think it was possible, but still like kind of followed the passion. I rolled into it.
And at the end you start at the top. It's true, like there's like some years of preparation, hitting partner, but it's crazy that your first like full-time coaching job is
Mhm.
with one of the greatest champions there is in the sport.
Yeah.
How easy is for you to be there, like knowing that you're beginning coaching someone who knows
Mhm.
so much about
Mhm.
tennis and that it's a great champion and expects results? Was it
Yeah.
easy for you? Or?
Um, it was easy because it was like a kind of like a new start.
Mhm.
I kind of had the feeling I knew her really well, and I
Yeah.
knew how her second career should look like.
Yeah.
And the second thing that I told myself, like I wanted to work also with a mentor,
Mhm.
just because like I was young, I was still unexperienced to work with such a top player.
Yeah.
I didn't want to take, like, to say, responsibility for big decisions. So I worked together with like a mentor who
Mhm.
was like advising me also with some technical things I wanted to improve. And I think that was really important for me because it made me more confident, and
Yeah.
also made the player more confident, because at the end, like, working with a young and experienced coach is also a risk.
Yeah.
So, but knowing that me, the young guy, was like also getting some advice from like a very, very good and technical strong coach also
Mhm.
made the player more confident.
Yeah.
So, and I was aware that I was unexperienced, and I said to myself, well, this is a chance and I have to compensate with something. So first of all, I'm gonna work like super hard. Of course, I was still playing at a good level, so I was able to hit with her,
Yeah.
which was all. And then I decided, and I guess I was kind of one of the first ones to work with data.
Yeah.
And I was because I wanted to show something to a player. Hey, like, like, I'm unexperienced, but I can do all this.
I can bring you something new and
Yeah.
different, also
Yeah,
like
yeah.
new generation of coaches. as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, exactly. So,
Mm.
to a lot of matches, I was there with a piece of paper and just putting the dots where serve were landing and returns were landing, and just trying to find some patterns. And
Yeah.
that's how I was trying to compensate for my lack of experience. And
Nice. In the episode with Darren Cahill, he mentioned that in coaching there's like kind of three branches, no? The
Mhm.
tactical, the technical, and
Mhm.
more like the mental part of it.
yeah.
And he says that he's very good more on the mental part, no? Like,
Mhm.
did you try to specialize more into one of these three, or you were like trying to learn as much as you can of everything?
Kind of like to learn a little bit more of everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I read also probably all the books about all the different parts of it, and
Yeah.
also from every player I learned things. And like, I agree, I listened to the episode with
Nice.
Darren. You cannot be an expert in
Yeah.
like all of them,
Mhm.
but of course on this level, like, you have to like
Yeah.
you have to also work on the mental, and of course
Mhm.
tactical, you need to be good,
Yeah.
and technical, you need to know what you're talking about. I do think, especially with the technical part, there are really like experts these days, like
Mhm.
experts in biomechanics, and
Yeah.
they use different tools and different cameras, and
Mm.
it's good to use them. Like, I think it's never a negative thing if you add an expert sometimes
sure.
to the
Yeah.
team, like,
Mhm.
or a consultant in something. So you don't have to be perfect in everything.
No, for sure.
Also, if you played at quite a high level, or you played good tennis, most of the time, technically, you're okay. It's like, you know what you're talking about, or at least you have some feelings. If you have been there on court, you have the feeling of some other coaches, if they were lower ranked, maybe don't have as much.
Mhm,
But
mhm, mhm.
it's true, like, it's not easy after to share what you mean or how you want to say it. Or that's the hard part, I think, about coaching, is like how you connect to your player.
Mhm. Yeah, true. First of all, I do think there's technical improvement possible for a lot of players, or most of the players.
Yeah.
Like, even like small things can
Yes.
have a big impact. And yes, it's all about like which communication are you using with the player, and to achieve a certain thing, you can say it like 5 different ways,
Mhm.
and then if that's the fun about coaching, finding a way that makes sense for the player, because
Fair enough.
I want to achieve this and I say it this way, and the player will say, I don't think it makes any sense what you're saying.
Yeah.
And then you try a little bit different approach, and that makes sense. But I also think, on the other hand, that it's the player's, like, say, responsibility to also, let's say, understand what is working for them.
Yeah.
Because probably you heard from different coaches, okay, you have to do this with your backhand, you have to do this with your forehand, or do this more. At the end, when they say something, you try it, and then it's also super important that you recognize, hey, well, this is actually helping me, and that you remember that for the next day and the next match,
Yeah.
So that's what I feel is really important there from the player.
Yeah, to develop your own criteria, to at the end you have a coach, but you are the ultimate responsible person for things working. You cannot blame everything on the coach, or
exactly.
To be able to know like if things are going on the right direction or not, it can be like super important, especially at the younger ages,
like from a younger age, take ownership of your career, like and if the coach says like 10 things, like just try and see what works for you, because some things won't feel good or won't feel comfortable, or you don't feel it's working, but like maybe 2 things,
fair enough,
you say like, hey, this is really improving my game, and like use that like a year later or 2 years later,
And
that's why it's good to have a book.
Huh? Well, you, Iga, Naomi, you're part of the book team, journaling.
I think many players have books. I think
fair enough.
Or notebook, or it's like.
I mean, it's just very important, not just for the matches, but also after practice. Like, what did I learn today?
Yes,
right. Like, what helped me today in this practice? Because now, like, my forehand is like better than the day before. So if I focus on this is really helping me.
Yeah.
So I think from a younger age, if you can work with a book, it would be very good.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's true. Like in business at the end, you have your forecast, your numbers, your Excels, your PowerPoints, where you can track well, first have clear goals and then track performance. And it's true, like it's a good exercise to try to apply it also in tennis, to see if you're going on the right direction or falling. And then like after like a very successful collaboration with Kim, you go with Sabine, no, Lizzie, sorry, I'm a disaster.
Caroline knows.
Lizzie,
No.
You don't remember?
After Kim?
Kromacheva.
Okay, I took it from your website. I took
remember.
It from junior.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
True.
So to be very fair, we had like 3 years together and very successful. Like she won 3 slams, so was number 1. So incredible. But still, like in the beginning of the conversation, I was the unexperienced coach. She was like the unbelievable player. So was it me that did a good job, or was it just her being incredible? Like I didn't know. I didn't have the answer. So I also didn't know where my future was going to be. And a few days later, I think I got a call from an IMG agent to work with like the number 1 junior. And I was like, well, it's perfect for me. Like work with a young player and like hungry and motivated to learn, to work hard, and like, let's do that.
Everything has to be done yet with her.
Yeah. And so remember, we played in 2012, I think, Cagnes-sur-Mer. Yeah, long time ago.
Time ago. I have some memories of Kromacheva in, I think it's Asia, I will say, in junior tournament there.
Yeah.
Somewhere. That was a long time ago.
What was the most challenging part for you? Because at the end, it's black and white. You go from someone who, like, at the end, maybe is teaching you a lot of things, to going with such a young player.
It was, it was fun, like to build.
Yeah.
On the other hand, there were, let's say, the expectations were not really right, because she was number 1 in the juniors, which is great effort. But I think their focus was a bit too much on being number 1 in the juniors. So she kind of played the game to be very successful in the juniors.
Okay.
Like more like loopy balls and just grinding and getting an extra ball back and like fist pumping. And also played a lot of tournaments. So the body didn't really develop like how it should be. So suddenly the juniors were over. You had to go into pro, and it was not an easy transition, because the expectations were like, okay, you were number 1 in the juniors. Like there are others going
her own
going
expectations
fast.
Or like her
from
family,
from the family.
From the family,
very difficult. Yeah.
So because the dad was the coach until that moment, or
no. She always worked like foreign coaches, but the parents were always there, and I think from also like an investment. Like it's
Yeah.
things cost money, of course, and
It's
then
true.
it doesn't.
In tennis, you see a lot of these profiles, no, that like the kid is kind of a business, no, and like they're pushing them.
Yeah,
And
but
so it's not easy. Like the junior career, sometimes it's not easy, and there is a bit two way of managing it. Is either like you stay very long time in junior and you try to make it and have good sponsor, and then maybe will pay you your career or your beginning of career, or you try to like mix it up between junior and some pro level. Like this, you have some experience. And it's true also this game style. It's very like in junior, it can define some beginning of career more than other. It's true, like sometimes there is game style where very like junior adapt, let's say, and then it goes to pro and it's like another story. And
But it's true, like maybe like being so successful at, it's kind of fake success, right? Because it's still like, it's very nice to be like junior, but you didn't make anything, right? You're not making a living out of it. It's not the real deal. But it's true, you can set up the wrong kind of expectations and a pressure that maybe a kid's still not ready to handle.
Yeah. The thing was, like, it was like a year or a year and a half later, she was like 160 in the world, which was still great at 19 years old.
Yeah,
like really good. But still, like, things didn't go fast enough, and like there was a lot of, let's say, pressure. And at some point I got like also from IMG, because they also, I guess, saw that it wasn't easy for me as well. They came with the offer to work with Sabine.
Nice.
So I said, well, okay. I mean, to work with such an amazing player, that that's a great opportunity. So that's actually, it's a short part of my career, but it's still like super important part, because we started like the week before French, I was in the third round, but then a few weeks later, like she had an incredible Wimbledon run.
True.
And the first German after Steffi Graf to make it to the Wimbledon finals, and some incredible wins. And just for me also, because with Sabine, I had to use like a complete different approach than with the young junior or with like Kim. And I some way found the way to coach her to be successful. And just that gave me a lot of confidence for like the rest of my career, that like I could maybe achieve something like a good career.
True, because I think if you want to be like maybe a very successful coach with different players, you need to develop this ability to adapt, and to like understand what like every person needs, in way of how you communicate. Also like the tactical, every player has different abilities. So I guess that to have this like knowledge in quite early age, because you're still like in your early 30s here, you work with very different players, different stages, starts to give you like a big perspective on how to be a good coach.
Yeah, exactly, because I don't think there's one approach. Like there's a winning approach to every player, and I think and the coach has to find that approach, And it's the way of communication, but also, of course, finding the winning tactics, or maybe to make the winning technical adjustments, or like, so that's the goal, like to find quickly, like, okay, we need to focus on this, and that was.
When you start with a player, like the first days or first week, how do you try to connect, or what do you try to work on? What is for you like the first important thing you focus on?
The first thing I try to do is like to make sure we have the same vision, like where the game has to go to. And I remember when I started coaching Kerber, it was like, I remember like, because the year before I coached 3 times against her, and for me it was like so clear like what the best Angie looked like, So I kind of made like a video for her to show her, hey, like this is actually how I see you next year, to be like the most successful version of yourself. Like this is how I see it. Like, and that was really like a more aggressive version, because I always felt like she played the best tennis when she was like
a bit
going
more
for
aggressive.
shots. Like, and so we had to make a few technical adjustments for that, but she really agreed on that, and for us that was like incredible start. Like. But it was different because before I started, she had a bad season. So she was really open, like, to make some adjustments, to learn. Of course, now in the situation, started with Iga, after like 3 successful, like incredible successful years, like it's not the moment to say, hey, like we're going to go a little bit like this direction, you know, like it's like, it's a complete different, different start, you know, like someone who's won that much in the past years, like to make big changes, like technical, tactical, like that's not gonna, let's say, be accepted, or like it's not gonna work.
It's more difficult to be open to it.
Yeah. It's way more difficult. Yeah.
So it's not you don't want. It's sometimes it's like, okay, wait, this worked in the past. Why should I change?
No, exactly.
I mean, you know, after a while, you know, it doesn't make sense because you have to keep evolving. But sometimes it's like, wait, I know how to do that. Maybe we just stay there.
Give up the short term for the long term is not an easy call.
It's not.
And you don't know it's gonna work 100%. So it's a big bet, I guess. Yeah, to say, okay, maybe I stop winning for a while, but then it's gonna pay off long term.
No. But so every start is different, right? So, but I first of all the vision, and then just without forcing, like, but a lot of conversation just about tennis and how they see things and how they prepare for the matches and how much they want to practice. You know, it's not that you come in and you change something, right? Like, it's not when somebody is used to practice like 2 hours tennis and 2 hours like conditioning or gym, to come in and say, hey, like, my approach here is to do 2 times 2 sessions of tennis, you know, like so slowly, like you like step by step, you're going to go a little bit how you see things, but like, I don't.
But if your player is the opposite, you will not force it on him.
Nothing drastic. No.
You have to start listening what it's important and how they do it, no, and then take it from there.
Yeah. And I mean, again, it depends like how successful they were in the previous time, you know, like if they were super successful, like it doesn't make sense to change a lot if things were not successful, or if it's a player that is like 40 in the world, 30 in the world, that has the potential to go to top 10 or where you see clear things, like, okay, then it's very clear, okay, this what needs to happen to go for the next step.
What do you find more challenging to get like a great champion? Not that they're already very good, but maybe you have a harder time, like, not making them like change or adapt, or like a younger player, who like maybe they're not as good still, but maybe they're like more humble or more like it's more easier not to get them to go in the way you think they have to go.
I think every player has their like challenges, you know. It's every project is really different. I think just if you have the vision together, you know, you go in that direction and you work together as a team. I think that is sometimes a bit difficulty in the tennis, that as a coach, you kind of being dropped into a team where like kind of everything is like set. I think sometimes it would be easier, like if like you can bring your own people. Like soccer, like football, for instance. I'm been fortunate. I worked with some incredible people, and I'm working with incredible people, but still, like with some people that I worked in the past, like they know how I work, they know what I want to see, and they know what my expectations is from them. And it would make things a lot easier, and let's say make the improvements go faster. Because it's true that when you enter like a whole new team, you have not only to earn the trust of the player, but of the physio, the fitness coach, like whoever is in the dynamic. And even if they're great people, like that adaptation time, it's going to take longer, 100%, than if it's just one person. Exactly, because to make improvements on the court, a lot of times improvement needs to be made off court. Like say example, I worked with a player and I wanted to improve, let's say, the backhand open stance, so we're working on it.
This is not Iga, then.
No, I mean,
backhand open stance, she has it.
I can't say always the names, but
no, I'm kidding.
So working on it, and 2 days later, like the trainer comes to me and says, you know, Wim, like, it's great what you're asking. I'm fully like behind you with this, but she's not ready to do that. She doesn't have the strength to do it. Like, you know, so from his perspective, was like, like we need to build in the gym for that. So, you know, like, so if I have my vision, and then like the trainer has like, he knows exactly what I'm expecting and has the knowledge, has also the biomechanical knowledge, that is like the ideal approach. So in that way, it's
Yeah, it's important. If you are not able to do it physically, or maybe you will break in 2 weeks, maybe on tennis courts, it's not the moment to push on it. But maybe it's necessary for your game. So
because I think a lot of players, like, they're trying something, but it's not working. It's a lot of times because there's something missing, like physically, like there's some strength missing in certain muscles. So so that's why a good trainer with biomechanical knowledge is, for me, also super important.
Nice. Interesting.
Yeah, and for you to, so now you've been on tour 16 years, you say, to keep improving as a coach, what are you trying to keep doing, and how you try to learn?
First of all, I learn a lot from all my players. Yeah, I've been fortunate to work with some really good players, and like, they all have their specifics, like how to prepare for a match, how to, let's say, stay mentally strong in matches, like how to work on, let's say, a backhand. Like, they had some drills that they did from a young age. Some players with incredible backhands that they were doing a certain drill. So, like, from every player I learn. And also now with Iga is incredible, like, because mentally she's such a tough player, and I'm learning so much. So it's again, like, I feel like I'm 45 now, and I'm learning so much. So it's I'm really fortunate, like, to be in this situation. But on the other hand, reading books, like, a lot of variation, like, of course, about tennis, but also about, like, management, about everything. You can always learn. Definitely. I mean, we work with a specific data company, like, to speak a lot also with them about how they see things, like how they see, like, the data, what we can do better, and just have the mindset of like, be open to learn, because clearly I'm not perfect at all, so I'm trying to be better every day.
And in the all player you worked with, or most of them, there was something always similar, like a strength they all had, you will say?
I mean, a lot of them were really, like, big champions, I think just the discipline, to do the work every single day. The consistency also, with just, like, with the training, with always, like, be ready to train. I mean, they all hate to lose, of course. Those are, like, the most difficult moments, but also, coachable. Like, I do feel like everyone was, like, most of the time, like, really, like, ready to learn and to improve the game. So I think those were, like, some characteristics.
Yes.
But at the end, like, everyone is so different, like, and so different personalities, and
It's true.
Yeah, you've been working, as you said, with many champions, and I think we have a lot of young kids listening always to the podcast, now trying to understand what it takes to arrive. Like, what would be your, like, main tips for, like, younger players who are maybe on the junior stage, on, like, how to keep growing and evolving?
Well, I think, first of all, like, do some other sports as well. Like, I've also, like, 2 kids, 9 and 6, and, like, for me, it's also really important they not only play tennis. I mean, I guess we said a lot, but it's like, a career is not like a sprint, but it's a marathon, and it's I think, of course, with, like, only focusing on tennis, like, you can maybe reach a certain level quicker, but
to burn out, probably.
But, also burn out, but to let's say, achieve something bigger, I think you can learn so much from also, like, doing different sports. And this is to learn different skills, like, at the end. I mean, tennis is a difficult sport, but if you learn, like, to be skilled, kind of, like, like, play table tennis and play some football and play some volleyball, and, like, at the end, like, you the more you do, like, the more sports you do, you get more you learn everything like quicker as well. So I think in that way, do that. And also when you're young, I mean, develop a complete game, you know, like I'm still sometimes surprised because some top players, they spend thousands of hours on a practice court and then still be quite uncomfortable at the net, or like can't play a drop shot, you know, like from a young age, like use the time to develop like a complete game, and like with the slice and with the volley and with the drop shot, and like
not focus only on your strengths, but try to like develop also your weaknesses, get them to be a bit better every day.
And focus on the long term. You don't need to be a champion at 12 years old, you know, like we all know how you're going to be a champion 12 years old. Just put the ball high in the air and just run, and you're going to be,
that's it.
And you're going to be the champion, right? So, but
I was not a champion at that age. Trust me.
No,
I was not doing good on the looping ball.
No, I can imagine that.
Well, it's very interesting. The first advice, of like try to do other things and be like as complete, not only as a tennis player but as a human or as an athlete, because maybe it sounds quite counterintuitive, and I would say that it's something that, especially in these players that maybe are like more like raised by parents or stuff, it's kind of the opposite of what you see. It's like obsess. And at the end, it's very interesting to hear one of the greatest coaches to say like, like maybe like at this age, it's better to grow as complete as you can, and then after specialize kind of.
Well, you have the two approaches, right? I mean, there's the Tiger Woods approach. It was kind of like when he was baby holding a club, and then more like the Roger Federer, who was also doing different sports. And so there are two ways, but I think like just as a player itself, but also just as a person, you grow so much, like doing also some team sports and like just doing so much. It's also fun when you're like 20 years old and you go with friends and maybe you can play some beach volleyball together and you have the skills, or you play some table like that you can do a lot, and or even you can do skiing,
or even as Iga said on the episode that she was going to normal school until a very late age, right? Like I think that maybe can help you like develop as a human, to have more like to be smarter, more prepared, because
discipline, because you go to school, you need to organize your day because you need to do your homework, you need to play tennis, and also, I mean, when you're 15 years old, you don't need to train 6 hours a day. If you train 2 hours with like really good quality and good focus, that's enough. That's enough. Like not more is not always is better, like I'm definitely pro for like hard work, but like it needs to be smart. It needs to be it needs to be like just quality. When you're on the court, it needs to be quality. And just even now at this level, like just going on the court to hit balls doesn't make sense to me. Like it always needs to be a specific goal, and like a really deliberate practice, like, okay, this is today what we're working on, and like at the end of the day we want to have this achieved.
I think it was Darren that was saying that with Andrea Gassi, they never trained more than 2 hours. Like in their whole coaching time, they never did more than 2 hours. Like it was like 90 minutes, very sharp, very focused, very oriented on what we want to develop. But there's no reward on working hard. I mean, you have to work hard, but it's not that because you work hard, it's going to pay off.
No, right? When I started practice, I have like usually 3, maximum 4 goals that I want to achieve. And if you achieve those goals in like 2 hours, that's great. But some players probably need 5 hours to do that, like, so it depends on the player. But with, let's say, Naomi, and in her first career, we were practicing also like hour and a half. 2 hours was already difficult. Also to keep the focus, because she was also not used to it. But then in the second career, we started to like build it more, and like at the end, like we were practicing 3 hours, but like really good focus. And instead of achieving like 4 goals, we had like 5, 6 like that we were achieving. So it was still like very deliberate, very focused, but we were trying to extend it a bit because of course, hour and a half, like if you want to do like 30 minutes, 40 minutes of serving, and like
it's short.
It's short, right? So
also matches, sometimes you have to go through 2 hours, 2 hours and a half. And if at practice you can do only 90 minutes, then you will have a drop in your match. So
exactly.
To develop the ability of being 3 hours focused, that's like a great skill. That's really nice.
So like if you can be focused for like 2 hours, it's better than than to be 4 hours but not focused.
Yeah,
but if you
fair
can
enough.
be 3 hour focused instead of 2 hours, that's of course much better,
That's
right?
better.
Like
Yeah.
so that's kind of that's also a training, right? To keep that focus longer, and you need
Yes.
to be physically strong enough to do that because it requires a lot of energy.
Through your career, did you see or feel that players change a bit the way they train, either on court, outside the court, or the way they manage career?
Well, yeah, I mean, training has been changing a lot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, physically, and if you go to the tournaments, all the gyms are packed, and it used to be like the gym used to be like super small, and like nobody would be there. So like, no, I mean, physically, just speaking about women's tennis, like it's incredible how, like I remember 15 years ago, you would play one big forehand in the corner, and like the opponent would be there maybe with a slice and like a short ball. Now you hit that shot, and they're physically so strong to go the counter attack already, right? So so it's so much different. Like that's why tennis, has evolved so much in the last 15 years.
I'm very curious. It's change of topic, but you have 2 kids coming up. Would you like them to be a tennis player, or after seeing?
Definitely.
Yeah, you will like it.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I mean,
If they're
first of all, no pressure, right? The oldest one, like he's 9, he combines with football. He was a complete tourist until like a year ago, and then he started to he played the first match, and since then he's like, I want to be a tennis player. So he changed completely.
Are
so
you
now
involved?
No. Sorry?
Are you involved in their tennis, or you try to stay?
I mean, unfortunately not. I really don't have like the time. Like I'm spending so much time traveling. But yeah, like, I think tennis is a great sport. First of all, it's given me also so much in life, and so much joy, especially. And it's a sport where you can learn so much, where you can grow as a person, and I think, like, first of all, they can do whatever they want. I never push them for one single time. They enjoy it now, and I think there are a lot of opportunities. You know, like, I mean, first of all, I hope they have fun with playing tennis, and then maybe a college could be a good way for them. If it's more. But like, anyways, it's just good to have a sport that they focus on, and after school that they have something to put their mind in, and also just to deal with like stress. And I feel that, you know, like they play matches now. The youngest is 6, and he's like nervous, and like last week he played against someone that was cheating, like how to deal with that situation, you know. My oldest played a match 2 weeks ago, and because they still play with like softballs, and his string broke. Apparently, I was not there. His string broke after the end of the second set, and he didn't know what to do because honestly, he didn't have a second racket, and he just continued to play. So, but you know, just every time there's something for them to learn and how to deal with situations, and like I love it too.
Do you get nervous if you go see them play a match, or
no?
No,
not yet at all. The only thing, of course, it's hard to see them like disappointed and sad if they lose. Like that's a difficult moment, but no, I don't get nervous. Not at this point.
That's
tennis is very mental. No, like at the end, I think everyone in the top 100 knows how to do like a good forehand, a good backhand. No, at the end, most of the times, no, it's the mental part that makes the difference. I don't know if you agree on this.
I mean, for a big part, for a big part. I mean, of course, to be technical as good as possible will also help you when you're, let's say, tight, right? The less good technically you are, the more it will break down under pressure.
The less luck you need to put that down the line in. No, it's more easy for you to be calm and confident.
With a super clean technical forehand, there's a bigger chance it will stay under pressure. Right. And same with your, let's say, understanding of tactics, and maybe keep the tactics a bit more simple at the But of course, like how to deal with emotions is of course a very important part, because everyone is getting nervous, and everyone has days where it's like just more difficult, and it's about training and training your tools what to do in those situations, and it's a constant work, just like working on your technique and tactics, right? So it is it's essential to start also from a young age to work on with mental coaches. So.
Yeah, maybe like for younger players, not to try to, as much as they can, not professionalize their team, no, and instead of maybe having their father or something, unless the father knows a lot about tennis, no, but to try to get a proper coach or psychologist, good fitness, no. Probably it's something that this sport is missing, because other sports like football, no, very early, if you're good, you enter, no, like a closed, with a coach, with some like team dynamics, no, whether in tennis as it's individual.
Yeah, but like, I speak just about my country, like good academies, they all work with like sports psychologists, and the federation has one, like, so it is more and more like,
it's growing a lot.
10, 15 years ago, no chance. But now it's, people realize it's like, it's normal. Like you work you work 5 hours on the court in the gym, and then like mentally you don't do anything. So it's just super important that it's like, it's kind of equal.
Yeah, and also now, like all the players, and especially the top ones, they do it, so they are sending the example for the younger generation and the academy federation. Like, okay, if the best one are doing it, maybe everyone should do it and should learn very early.
When you were coming up, there was no clear like example of someone.
It was very hidden.
Yeah.
Maybe it was done, but maybe it was just like secret.
Yeah, but it was seen like there was more stigma into therapy and stuff. Like
you need a psychologist. What's wrong with you?
It
was like,
exactly.
Like, are you okay? Or like, no, like.
Well, now if you say it, people are like, good for you. Like they don't see it as a weakness. Yeah.
I do think like 90% of the top 20 player is working with someone.
Yeah,
like,
fair enough.
Sometimes traveling, but most of the time at home or on call. Like, so it's a normal thing. So
nice.
Would you like to have the experience to work with a ATP player?
Not necessary. No, I'm happy. I'm a happy and a proud WTA coach. I enjoy working with women. So I would like maybe one day to work with
if you have the
ATP.
opportunity, you will consider.
Yeah, but I would not see it as like an upgrade or something. No. So it would be an interesting experience, but I don't see it as like, okay, that would be better for me, or like, no, like I'm happy as a WTA coach. But yeah, as a challenge, at some point it would be interesting. But I never had like any offer from the ATP.
No way?
Yeah, never. No.
That's crazy.
Never. Yeah.
And
I do think that,
why is that?
Let's say going from WTA to ATP, I do think it's easier than go from ATP to WTA.
Yes, I would say so.
You agree too? Yeah,
I will agree.
Now, like women are more emotional, more sensible, no, and you have to develop maybe like this empathy with guys. Sometimes you can be like, you can say like things like the way you think them, no, and maybe they're like taking it easier. With women, I think that you have to develop like this empathy, this sensibility to say things in the way that they will like understand it better.
It's not only about what you say, but when you say it and how you say it.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course.
That makes sense. For a man, it's always easier not to speak to another guy most of the times, and we can like call each other like an asshole or something, and it's good. With a woman, you say that, and you're in trouble, kind of. So
no, exactly. Like, and that's why also I like having at least one woman in the team. So it's always good, just because like sometimes woman to woman like conversations are just very important. There are always topics like they're not sharing with us. But
fair enough.
When there's a woman in the team, sometimes it goes like around, and then still like you're more informed about some things that are going on. And
it's true. I was doing the mental picture of the teams that you had before. It's true.
No, but if let's say if you have like, let's say, a team of like 3-4 people, I think it would definitely be good to have.
It can be a bonus.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
makes sense.
For some topics, maybe it's easier to communicate it to someone that can really like relate with that problem rather than a guy, and maybe you feel like, I don't know if they're gonna understand what I'm saying, right, or how I feel.
Yeah,
cool.
I think so. And just sharing stuff. It's just sometimes easier woman to woman.
Nice. It's different ways of seeing things, different ways of understanding things. So at the end, it's a more complete team, and the more complete it is, better for everyone.
I like it.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, we always finish with like, what advice would you give to your younger self?
To my younger self, to myself, I would more say like, dare to dream. Because for me, it something, I've been raised very realistic and like more like don't dream. And I think everything starts with a dream, and if you can kind of visualize yourself like holding the Roland Garros trophy. Like I think it's also easier like to get there at some point, you know, like if you cannot even like visualize that, or you cannot dream about it, then I think it's just too far. Like you really have to believe in it. Like and yeah, I think in that way, I think maybe I could have, let's say, achieved more in my own career if I would have, let's say, believed more in myself and I would have more confidence in myself. Yeah.
I think it's Patrick Mouratoglou, no, on the episode, he said that for him, like the thing that differentiates great champions with other very good players is that they never stop believing, no? That they can be like 2 sets down and they still think they're going to find a way to turn that match around and win it, no?
No, exactly. Like that's definitely.
And at the end, it's a better way to live, right? Because if you like spend 10 years, no, it's impossible, I cannot make it, and you make it, at the end, it's been 10 years of suffering, no? But the other way around, if you didn't make it, at least, you know, you were like, it's a life worth living, no? You work hard, but you have still like that optimism.
No, exactly.
That I think it's always good to have.
But yeah, like I'm very like, I'm positive in life, and I see everywhere like just opportunities, and like I try to see all situations from a positive side. But you know, like just really dare to dream big. You know, it's a bit of an American thing maybe, but I do think that's just very important.
Yeah, it's worth taking the chance, no?
For sure.
Awesome.
Would you like to listen in the podcast?
So first of all, I think I've listened to most of the podcast. I think, it was like, I really enjoy listening to the podcast. Just very good to see different perspective and the stories from different players.
I appreciate it.
From the coaches, you had Patrick, you had Darren already. Maybe someone like Sven Grunewald, I think also has an incredible career. I think it would be good to listen to. And from the players, what about an ex-player, Serena?
Oh yes,
we would love it.
We would like Kim also. She had at the end she had a break, but she had quite a long career, so she met different generation. And I think she can bring something to young kids and everything.
That's for sure.
But yeah, Serena, I mean, she's a goat, so.
but why not, right?
Whenever she wants,
really big names, and it's like, I mean, why not? Like,
it's person who have been, exactly. It's person who have been through so much, like on court and outside the court, and that's the one we can share you the most. We love it.
Nice.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure after seeing you so many times lately on the other side of the tennis.
It's true.
Court.
Lately, it's too many times.
It's a bit of an obsession, Wim.
I had to check before coming here, but I coached 10 times against you.
10 times?
Wow. Yeah, 10 times.
And
but like I feel like
half of them in the last year.
Yeah.
Because last year was 3 with Naomi, now it's 2. So it's that's crazy.
With Konta 2 times.
Wimbledon.
Yeah, Wimbledon. And Indian Wells 7-6 in the third. Remember for you?
You know that sometimes I have like some matches like I completely forgot.
In that third set, you didn't make one return, and in the tiebreak you just had like only return winners. That was crazy. That was so frustrating for me.
Welcome to Carlos world.
Like honestly, like no return in the third set, but the tiebreak was like the best tiebreak in the world, like ever. Like
on the second court, no?
Yeah.
Thank you, Wim. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And
are you gonna?
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next episodes. And it will mean the world to me if you can share this episode with someone you think will enjoy it. Thank you and see you soon!